before CPAC. Senate is an august house. How do we allow bloggers to be the one covering what happens in there? So as a council, we've said enough is enough on this matter, and we'll engage the leadership of the Senate.
Tonight on EBN Prime Edition, Council of Governors suspends Senate County Public Accounts and Investment Committee appearances over alleged harassment.
Kesho tuamke tuone 100 billion cannot be seen and we can't do nothing about it.
In the past history, no foreigner would have owned a quoted company more than 40%. Today, instead of releasing that stake to us, we buy.
Can we consider selling this to local Kenyans?
Kenyans oppose government sale of Safaricom shares.
And many counties, up to 23 counties, are in need of support in terms of human food, livestock feed, and other drought mitigation interventions. Overall, 3.3 million people across our country are affected.
Over 3.3 million Kenyans across 23 counties are currently at risk of hunger, with Wajir, Mandera, Kwale, and Kilifi counties among the hardest hit regions. Denies bail to Officer Clancy Baraza, who is facing murder charges over the killing of a mask vendor, Boniface Karaoke. Alright, we're live across our social media platform, that is on Facebook, on YouTube, and as well send us your feedback through our SMS line, that is 23059. Our sign language interpreter tonight is Laura Mondi. My name is Macharia, and EBN Prime Edition starts now. And the Council of Governors has unanimously decided to suspend all appearances before the Senate's County Public Accounts and Investment Committee, that is CPAIC, pending a candid engagement with Senate leadership over claims of harassment and extortion. Speaking during a two-day retreat in Kilifi themed Repositioning the Council for Effective Service Delivery in Light of the Political Environment, more than 30 governors emphasized that while they support accountability, the CPAIC has allegedly become a platform for humiliation rather than constructive oversight. COG Chair and Wajir Governor Ahmed Abdullahi described the committee as a circus and accused certain senators of live streaming proceedings to push biased narratives. The governors also defended county auditors who have purportedly faced undue pressure from senators to implicate governors. Take a look.
We even have bloggers covering Senate committees instead of the Senate official, communication team. Yeah? Senate is an august house. How do we allow bloggers to be the one covering what happens in there? And even before the governor steps out of that committee, we've seen intimidation of the auditors in that committee to incriminate specific governors, to incriminate governors. The auditor gets so intimidated that at times he even says things contrary to what is in the audit report. We cannot go on like that. So as a council, we've said enough is enough on this matter, and we'll engage the leadership of the Senate. If we have to go back to court to interpret what oversight is, and what those appearances should entail, what political responsibility of governors is, we are willing to go back to court. But it cannot be and will not be business as usual. I thank you.
Thank you.
It is not an easy decision for the Council of Governors to decide not to appear before CPAC. But we want to make it very clear. We do understand that the courts have pronounced themselves on this matter before, that governors must appear in person. But the same courts also required that governors be treated with decorum. And the courts, in reaching that decision, did not envisage that there will be extortion, intimidation, humiliation, and harassment. So, Excellency, governors deliberated on this matter and decided until the rules of engagement are redefined and until we have been heard by the leadership of the Senate on the ongoings in that particular committee by particular and specific senators who sit in that committee, we shall not appear before PAC. And I want to make this very, very clear. No governor will appear before PAC before these matters are addressed. And we agree on the rules of engagement. What you've been seeing is killing people's careers. Drama. The council has resolved that governors will not appear before the Senate Public Accounts Committee until these concerns are addressed through a structured engagement between the leadership of the Senate and the Council of Governors.
Right, moving on, the High Court has declined to grant bail to police officer Clinzy Barasa, who is facing murder charges over the killing of a mask vendor Boniface Karaoke, citing concerns over the safety of witnesses and the public order. In her ruling, Justice Margaret Muigai said releasing the accused at this stage could jeopardize the protection of victims and witnesses, as well as compromise public security. Now, the court was told that Karaoke's family has been subjected to harassment, including receiving numerous unsolicited phone calls and messages since the case began. Karaoke was shot in June 2025 during protest in Nairobi and succumbed to his injuries 12 days later while receiving treatment at Kenyatta National Hospital. His death sparked public outrage and renewed calls for accountability over police conduct during the demonstrations. All right, also residents who attended a public forum in Kiambu County have strongly opposed the government's plan to sell 15% of its shares in Safaricom. Now, the meeting, which drew widespread participation, saw citizens raise critical questions regarding the objectives and transparency of the proposed sale, particularly the intended transaction within Vodacom.
Kesho tuamke tuone 100 billion cannot be seen and we can't do nothing about it.
In the past history, no foreigner would have owned a quoted company more than 40%. Today, instead of releasing that stake to us, we buy.
Can we consider selling this to local Kenyans? Is that an option?
The government could have sold to the public, but the risk in that, as I know, as an accountant, either the price will go up or the price will go down.
You people should be representing us, the public. But when I hear you, I'm confused. Are we talking to the treasury people? Are we talking to Vodacom people? Are we talking to the board of Safaricom? Who are you exactly representing?
Right, moving on, over 3.3 million Kenyans across 23 counties are currently at risk of hunger, with Wajir, Mandera, Kwale and Kilifi among the hardest hit regions. Speaking during a strategy meeting to assess interventions, Deputy President Professor Kithure Kindiki announced the release of an additional 4 billion Kenya shillings to support emergency measures. The fund are intended to enhance food distribution, provide water and support other relief efforts to caution our vulnerable communities from the escalating drought crisis.
The purpose of this meeting was to review the ongoing interventions by the government of Kenya on the situation of the drought, the mitigation interventions that we are making on drought. As you are aware, the performance of the last rains, October to December season, was suboptimal. They did not perform very well. So many counties, up to 23 counties, are in need of support in terms of human food, livestock feed, and other drought mitigation interventions. Overall, 3.3 million people across our country are affected, and we also need food to reach our schools, to make sure that our learners are not disrupted by the ongoing drought situation. Therefore, we have reviewed the ongoing interventions. We have resolved to upscale the interventions. We have also resolved to diversify the food available so that we can take care of sensitive, special sections of society, including children, women, and the invalids. We have also asked and directed that all county steering committees be activated, and that we need to work on the last mile delivery of food. We are taking a little long for the food to reach the population in their areas, and therefore we've directed that those teams be activated, and we are going to work through a better supply chain and last mile delivery program going forward. We are also making interventions for water tracking, for livestock, and for people, and we're going to request for that process also to be expedited. So I want to take this opportunity to assure the people of Kenya that the government views the current situation as a serious situation, but at the same time assure the people of Kenya that we will not spare any resources to make sure that we don't lose human life, and we also mitigate the effects of this drought on livestock and the entire ecosystem that would be affected, including our wildlife and protected areas. So thank you very much.
All right, moving on to matters politics. Treasury Cabinet Secretary John Mbadi has urged members of the ODM to fully support and respect party leader Oburu Odinga, warning that those who do not align with party policies should leave. Speaking during a public event, Mbadi singled out Edwin Sifuna, stating that someone like Sifuna will not remain in ODM because he is already conflicted. He emphasized that loyalty to the party's directives is crucial for unity and effective leadership within the Orange Democratic Movement. Take a look.
We will remain solid the way Raila left it. So long as some of us are still there, there are people who think now people like Mbadi cannot play politics. We will. And we will make sure that ODM is strong on the ground. We will make sure that we talk to our people to remain steadfast in ODM under the leadership of Oburu Odinga. Oburu has been steadfast behind Raila, even though Raila is younger than him. But he did not in any way fight the leadership of his brother. He respected his brother. Therefore, we must also respect Oburu Odinga for the leadership that he has. But one thing that I want to tell ODM leaders while standing here, if you think that ODM will remain solid by having everybody who has been there, including people whose agenda is completely opposite what ODM wants, you are daydreaming. You must allow some people to exit ODM at this stage. If someone does not want to agree with ODM policies, with the policies that spelled out by the party leader after convening Central Committee meeting, that person should be left to go, so that we can see how many people he's living with. Someone like Sifuna will not remain in ODM because already is conflicted. He is now selling the agenda of someone else. Why are you pretending? You cannot keep him in the party. He is gone. Allow him to go. When I was chairman of the party, and Ababu Namwamba wanted to behave like he's behaving, I made sure he left. I convened disciplinary committee against him as the SG. And by the way, let nobody cheat you. At the SG is keeping documents of the party. That one we changed a long time ago.
All right, moving on to the corridors of justice. An imam has been charged in court over allegations of defrauding a Muslim faithful of more than 700,000 Kenya shillings in a failed pilgrimage arrangement to Mecca. Now, Usta Omar Adman appeared before Chief Magistrate Lucas Onyina, where he is denied charges of obtaining 774,000 Kenya shillings from Mohammed Salim under false pretenses. Prosecutors told the court that Omar allegedly claimed he would facilitate Bakwela's Umar pilgrimage to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, a trip that never materialized. The court heard that the suspect was arrested on Sunday at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport upon his return to the country, following a complaint lodged by the aggrieved pilgrim. And now Magistrate Onyina is expected to rule on Omar's bail application on February 10th as investigations continue.
Mental stress, paka sasa hivi haja respond kitu. Yeah. Paka sasa hivi tuko na nini, mabag zetu ziko hapo, hata hatuja unpack, na alitutumia visa to make it worse. Yeah. So pia I think I may violate visa regulations because hata it is a risk. Sisi tukitaka visa ama kusafiri, I think we will be denied to get another visa.
Supposed to travel on 28th of December. By 27th of December, nothing had happened. Asa nikampelekea message, kambia leo ni 27th, tuko supposed to travel tomorrow and you've not told me anything. Unfortunately, he doesn't respond to calls. Shiki simu. So I didn't say anything. So come 28th December, we had all packed. Kila kitu iko tayari, nothing happened.
Who will ever think that someone will take an advantage of such an act of such religious act? Who will ever think? We never thought of it. So when this came up, our Ustad assured us, akatuambia kwamba those are just allegations, it's just our trip is there as planned. Tukaendelea na kupanga na mikakati. So ilipokaribia siku ya safari, Ustad ikawa hapatikani. Akatuambia baada ile siku ya safari kupita, akatuambia kwamba ile haikuwezekana because of matters visa, because of matters accommodation, lakini we can change the dates.
All right, moving on to matters healthcare. The government has raised alarm over the growing number of women, including minors, using flavored nicotine products, warning that the trend poses a serious threat to their reproductive health. Public Health Principal Secretary Mary Modhoni says the more women are now consuming vapes, electronic cigarettes, and shisha, exposing themselves to harmful chemicals that can affect fertility and pregnancy outcomes. The PS cautioned that nicotine and other toxic substances found in these products can interfere with normal fetal development, now increasing the risk of complications and birth defects among unborn children. She noted that the attractive flavors and easy availability of the products have made them popular among young women.
Cessation Center. That is in regards to drugs and substance use. Because Mount Kenya region, indeed, there's a problem with the issue of drugs and substance. Laikipia County will be one of those, or is one of those that we have earmarked to have a cessation center here. And that will help even the region, the counties near, with rehabilitation of those who have already gone out of hand in regards to drugs and substance use. As I stand here, I look at the data in my office, and I actually noticed that there's a spike in regards to women and the use of nicotine. When we were growing up, it is the men who used to smoke. These days, it's the women who are smoking vapes, electric cigars, pouches. They are the ones you'll find in shisha dens. So really, there's a culture shift, and we need to really manage it to take care of our young girls who are of reproductive age. And tomorrow they want to have babies. You don't want to have deformed babies because you indulged in some nicotine products or contents which you could not even understand what is the contents in that product. As a national government, we are doing all we can. Kama ni sigara mbaya, sisi tunachoma tu, ama tunakuambia rudisha kwenye umetoa. For fair business, because the taxman is here. He's very keen at getting the money, but we are telling him for any product which is not conforming with the laws of this country, we will not allow it to even be taxed. Thank you.
All right, moving on, President William Ruto met with Italy's Minister for Universities and Research, Maria Benini, at State House, Nairobi, witnessing the signing of a landmark memorandum of understanding aimed at strengthening collaboration in higher education, training and research. Now, the MOU seeks to foster joint initiatives between the two countries, facilitating the mobility of students, researchers and faculty members. Now, it also emphasizes the implementation of collaborative research projects and the shared use of scientific and technological infrastructure. Speaking during the signing, officials highlighted that the agreement will enhance our knowledge exchange, boost innovation and create opportunities for Kenyan and Italian institutions to work together in addressing global challenges through research and training.
I am very proud that this afternoon again we have found another opportunity to recommit ourselves to the partnership and the relationship between our two countries, and to consolidate the tangible, practical gains that have informed the relationship between our two countries over time. We have a great Kenyan-Italian community in Kenya. We have Little Italy in Kenya, and hopefully we shall have Little Kenya in Italy someday. But to underscore your visit as an important milestone in our science, research, technical training, artificial intelligence ecosystem, your coming and your representation of your government here confirms to us the essence of the relationship and the friendship between Kenya and Italy, and the people and government of Kenya appreciate that we have built a solid and mutually beneficial relationship between our two countries.
We would like to go a step ahead. We would like to enforce, foster, to make even deeper our relations, not only in scientific terms, but through an ecosystemical cooperation that is going to involve universities, research entities, businesses, and communities. I would like to thank by heart my interlocutors of these days. You've been inspiring. You gave us strong, innovative ideas to develop together, to make our two communities and to make the world better through our collaboration, through research, through the work we will do together.
Right now, on the business front, the Kenya Accreditation Service, that is KENAS, has concluded a nationwide public participation exercise aimed at strengthening accreditation reforms to boost Kenya's competitiveness in regional and international trade. The exercise focused on gathering views from stakeholders and the public on the key policy and legal documents that draft Kenya Accreditation Service Bill, Amendment Bill 2025, and the Kenya Accreditation Service General Regulations of 2025, and as well as the Kenya Accreditation Service Fees Regulations of 2025. Speaking to the press at the Kisii Agricultural Training Center on the outskirts of Kisii Town, Kenya's Chief Executive Officer Dr. Walter Ongeti said the reforms are designed to enhance confidence in conformity assessment results, including testing, calibration, inspection, and certification services.
We have subjected 3 documents to the public for the last nearly 3 weeks. These are the legal instruments, including the General Regulations 2025, which basically operationalize the Kenya Accreditation Service Act. Since this act was enacted in 2019, there have not been any regulations in place, so we have worked on general regulations. There were also some minor amendments in 2024 which made accreditation mandatory, and therefore it was necessary that we work on some draft regulations to subject to the public. The other document which we have been subjecting to the public are legal fees regulations 2025. Since 2009, which is 17 years ago, we've never had a situation where we revise our fees. There have been inflationary issues, and also just the way we had structured our fees required some sort of review, and we have now reviewed, and we are also subjecting that to the public for comments and input as is required by our constitution. We do this because we are mandated then to give a third-party assurance that these entities that are undertaking testing, certification and inspection do this because they have the full competence to undertake the work, and that these activities then meet international requirements. By and large, when we do this, then it's the test results or any certificates that these entities issue can be accepted globally within the arrangement within which KENAS then is a member on behalf of Kenya.
What we manufacture and what we trade meets that required standards and quality. We normally trade within the regional economic bloc that comprises of 8 partner states. Kenya is also a member of COMESA. Kenya is also a member of ACFTA, that is African Continental Trade Area. And of course, in the wide perspective, this country is also a member of WTO. So when we are trading across all these regional blocks, our main purpose is to ensure that all the required goods and services that we trade, either trade in goods or trade in service, meets that international standards. In any international arena, if your products and services do not meet the required standards, therefore our agency that is KENAS is given that responsibility.
While still on the economic front, President William Ruto has reaffirmed Kenya's commitment to strengthening diplomatic ties with the international community, emphasizing collaboration for shared prosperity. Speaking during the New Year diplomatic briefing at State House, Nairobi, the president highlighted Kenya's ambitious $38 billion, that is 5 trillion Kenya shillings, transformation program, noting that the crucial role of international partners, including development finance institutions, pension funds, and private sector in supporting the National Infrastructure Fund.
Excellencies, in 2025, Kenya continued to deepen bilateral relations across Europe, the Middle East, Africa, Asia, and the Americas. These engagements strengthened cooperation in trade, investment, security, migration, climate action, education, and technology, while expanding people-to-people exchanges. I am very happy that in the last 3 years we have been able to conclude, sign, ratify the Economic Partnership Agreement with Europe. It was quite a very proud moment to sign that contract here. We have also concluded the CEPA agreement with the UAE. We have also almost concluded now the agreement with China. And my Minister for Trade will be leaving the day after tomorrow to conclude the negotiation, the bilateral trade agreement with the United States. And we are aligning more so that we can build a stronger ecosystem of trade partnerships that will allow us to do more with many friends across the globe. We look forward to further widening and deepening diplomatic engagement in 2026 as we advance bilateral cooperation frameworks globally, promote peace and security, strengthen trade and investment ties, expand scientific, technological, and cultural exchanges.
Right now, from the economic front, let's take a look on what's making headlines in the world of sports. Right now, let's get sporty, and Moroccan giants Wydad AC handed Nairobi United another setback in their maiden CAF Confederation Cup campaign after grinding out a 1-0 victory at the Moi International Sports Centre Kasarani on Sunday. Now, the narrow defeat leaves the Kenyan side rooted at the bottom of Group B with one matching remain, while Wydad strengthened their bid for top spot with the hard-fought away win. Nairobi United started on the front foot and nearly broke the deadlock in the 11th minute when Shami Kibwana found space inside the box, but his effort failed to seriously test the Wydad defense. Now the visitors responded through experienced winger Nordin Amrabat, whose 15-minute shot was superbly saved by goalkeeper Kevin Odur. Now the host continued to threaten with Leslie Otieno forcing a punch from Wydad keeper Mehdi Banabid in the 19th minute before Duncan Omala's rebound clashed against the woodwork. Now moments later, Hakim Ziyech released Amrabat with a defense-splitting pass, but the winger was just beaten to the ball. Right, it is exactly that 2 minutes past the top of the hour. You're now up to speed. That's making headlines from across 47 counties and as well as in the world of sports. My name is Macharia. I was joined by Lara Omondi on the sign language interpretation, and of course on behalf of the entire team that made this particular program a success, we say asante sana. Have yourself a lovely night. Enjoy the rest of your viewing, and as always, let's do this again when God says we do.